welcome you to the Ask Jeff YouTube channel. Here's today's question. It says in Judges chapter 11, verses 30 through 40, it tells the story of Jephthah and his young daughter. Is this the only instance of a child sacrifice in the Bible? Well, you've hit on a very intriguing story, a very unique story. In fact, one that we might call an outlier in the Bible. Let me give you a background for those who may not be familiar with the story. Jephthah was a fabulous warrior on behalf of the Lord. In fact, up until this point, he had never lost a single battle. Not one. Incredible. In fact, he was so faithful to the Lord, and this is important to the question, that when you get to Hebrews chapter 11, the Hall of Fame of Faith, there's only 32 names listed. He's one of the names. He's right there. I think it's verse 32. He's right beside David and all these great heroes of the faith. But yet, as the question presupposes and the text tells us, he sacrificed his daughter. Here's what happened to Jephthah. He got so concerned that the Philistines were outnumbering them and that he could not win the battle, is he made a, quote, bet with God. He said, God, if you will guarantee me victory in this battle, whoever walks in the room, I will sacrifice them to you. Unfortunately, now, by the way, it would have been unfortunate whoever walked in the room. It was his own daughter. Now, the question is this the only instance of child sacrifice in the Bible? No, there's a lot of it. In fact, all throughout the Old Testament, even some of the New, you hear about people giving their children to Moloch. That's basically child sacrifice. They were practicing paganism, that somehow if I give up my future, my child, I appease the, quote, gods. Why is this story so important? There is never a place in the Bible where anybody exercising their faith toward the Lord ever sacrifices their children. Now, there are times like Hannah in the book of 1 Samuel where she gives her child to the Lord in the priesthood. That's not child sacrifice. That is just selflessness. Child sacrifice is never ordained by God. It's never promoted by God, and it's never received by God. In fact, Jephthah's story and his daughter's death is not a sacrifice to the one true God to gain victory, as much as the Lord is flipping the script and saying, Jephthah, why would you relegate yourself to treat me like the pagan gods? That's not how this works. And I believe the way the story ends up so tragic is a lesson, not just for Jephthah, but for all of us, that we don't have the opportunity or the privilege, shall I say, very tongue-in-cheek, to treat the one true God like the pagan God, that if I give up this, then I'll get this. Why does Jephthah make the Hall of Fame of Faith? In the course of all of his life, this is really the only thing we see that is a lack of faith. A horrific situation, horrific for his daughter. It was not a, quote, worship of the one true God, much the opposite. But what a lesson for all of us. We should never treat the Lord Jesus Christ as the pagans do their God. We don't have the opportunity or, quote, the privilege to say, okay, God, I'm going to give up this so I can get that. Or if you'll promise me this, then I promise you I'll do that. It doesn't work that way. Great question. If you have one, send it to AskJeff.net, and maybe your question will be tomorrow. Thanks for being a part of today's daily question. Now, we answer a question each and every day. Please feel free to submit a new question at AskJeff.net. We may not have gotten to yours today, but we eventually will continue to be a part of this. Subscribe so you don't miss out on a question every day.